If you caught episode 3, you know we left Madawaska's Four Corners, but this time we're heading Route 1 all the way, baby, to the very top and then back down through Moosehead. Let's get some gas and get this show on the road.
I was trying to get gas and I couldn't figure it out.
Beauty.
It's funny. Off to Fort Kent. Let's go. We've been following the old Bangor and Aroostook Railroad tracks for quite a while. Of course, that flag we just saw is also the Acadian flag. But we've been following it for a while, and this is very historic. Essentially, this railroad was what connected the two countries together, of course, before trucks and highways existed. But it's actually still in use today, which is pretty neat. This is a small town heading out called Frenchville. We're still heading north on Route 1. We're going to go as far as we possibly can go right to the end of it. I was going to tell you an interesting thing up here with potatoes. A lot of the potato harvest, obviously when potatoes are ready, they got to be harvested right away. They can't sit in the ground or they rot. And there's a very small window for harvesting them. So actually up here in Aroostook County, the schools give the kids time off to help their family harvest. And there's a lot of these buildings called Quonset huts. You probably see them over there. They're like a, I don't know, an ark. And it's where they store the potatoes in. When we get up one of these, you might see that the earth is actually mounded up to the side of them. And that's actually a way that they use to keep the temperature inside cool so the potatoes don't rot when they're in storage. Potatoes have to be kept cool and dry, or of course you know what happens, they get those little sprouts and they turn bad, or they get rotting and they go bad as well. So ingenuity works good up here. Of course, this growing season is very short. Winter comes on and it comes on hard, so you got to do what you got to do, but the ground does work well for potato farming. That's why we've seen so much of it. Another church. Again, middle of nowhere, nothing going on, and then this ginormous church. Canada, Maine. Canada, Maine. Canada, Maine. Rolling into downtown Fort Kent, Bob. Ain't much to see, but there is a small hospital, small car dealership, and there's a little bit of a downtown coming up here. There's a little ski mountain right up here in Fort Kent. It's been around forever. There's only like, I don't know, 5 trails or so on it. It's not very large, but hey, something to do with all the snow, right? Downtown Fort Kent. Here it is, boys and girls. There it is again, double. Big church, big church. And here it is. Historic mile marker 1. We made it up here. America's first mile. Fort Kent, Maine. Yes, yeah. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna get in here and film some things.
What the heck?
Grandpa's making it. 2,446 miles. I've driven almost the entire stretch. I have been to Key Weird, Florida, and that's where we are right now. And Canada is over there. That's the border right there. And that's what happens when you let the nursing homes close early.
Hour later.
And now we're on some secondary roads to make our way over down to Greenville Junction, Moosehead Lake. Gonna stop on the way out of town here and say hi to a buddy of mine who I haven't seen in a while. He's one of the local ministers up here. Super nice guy. So I pulled over. As you can see, the religious building is over there, the beautiful motorcycle parked in it. But I'm over across the street here with my good buddy Dr. Wallace. Chuck, it's good to see you, bro.
Nice to see you too.
Awesome. I know everybody on the video is going to ask, so you live right across from the Kingdom Hall that you go to.
Yep.
Now, and you're the minister. You're one of the ministers there.
Yep.
So I've always known you as Dr. Wallace, and you were a professor, right?
Uh-huh. I was a professor at the University of Maine for 27 years in animal science.
Crazy. Why in the world did you become a minister?
Well, because I studied the Bible, and the Bible told me what that God wanted me to do. And I stayed doing my job as a professor to support my family so that I could do my ministry. And then I took early retirement, and we moved up here from Orono, which is about 3 hours south of here, to help this small congregation. And so we've been here for about 7 years.
Man, you're awesome. Someday I hope to be as awesome as you. Hey, we're going to hit the road, but it was good seeing you, man.
Nice seeing you.
Keep up the
too.
good work.
Chuck's an awesome guy, good friend, and a deep thinker. All right, now we got to make some time. We're going to be doing some back roads. It looks like we got about 4.5 hours worth of riding, and we're going to be going down the Route 11 corridor. Unfortunately, there's a lot of the roads we actually can't ride on because they're restricted to motorcycles due to the logging truck traffic. That's a funny thing, log trucks and motorcycles don't get along very well. So we've got to kind of go down and back up and around. So it looks like there's a cutover here that can save some time. And these roads are dirt with shale on top of them. They're actually pretty fun to ride. I just feel bad for Grandpa behind us with his gold wing. But this is beautiful, isn't it? Look at this. Awesome. I think this is where the Pan America really lives in a very comfortable space. Dirt roads like this, not too crazy, bumpy, but the bike doesn't really seem to mind. I very much enjoyed the bike in these areas, and it has a lot of power. So we're heading south on Route 11, and immediately, as soon as you get a couple minutes south, you're in timber country. The farms have kind of disappeared, and everybody out here makes a living with harvesting timber. And the interesting part about it is the log trucks out here do not care. They crank. Look at this guy. I mean, that's not a log truck. That's a guy that wishes he was driving a log truck, but he must be doing 100 miles an hour. People just fly. And the big trucks, I had a big truck pass me a minute ago. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the world? Timber's big out here. The towns I'm driving through right now actually don't even have names. They're like TW1-15. They're unorganized townships, and really the only thing that happens is these logging roads. The trucks go and they pull paper and then they bring them back. I really wanted to go kind of like on a back roads deal where I cut across on some dirt roads, but these roads are not
permissible by motorcycle. There's big signs up. So I don't want to get in trouble, so we're obviously not going to do that. But this is definitely a nice ride, and the road is very well maintained. Coming downtown here, there isn't much to see here, but it's kind of an interesting little town. It's called Portage Lake, and you guessed it, it's named after the lake that's in the town, Portage. This is one of the entryways. There's Portage Lake right over there. This is one of the entryways to the Allagash Wilderness, and if you look on a map, you'll see Allagash is a massive area. And again, you can't take motorcycles in there because of the logging trucks and all that jazz. But there's nothing out there. There's nothing. There's no buildings. There's a few wilderness camps that lease land off the lumber companies, but besides for that, there's nothing. So this is it, folks. This is all there is to town. There's a store here, right here, Portage Lake. To get to the North Maine woods, you go that way, and it goes in, and then there's a little place you can stay right here. And that's it. That's the whole town. And this is it for up here. Here's a logging truck fully loaded, and you can see the log yard here they've got, just to give you an idea about how dangerous these can be. These things are fully loaded with pine, cedar, you know, whatever. And big time. Big ouchie. And they kick up a lot of dust behind them, and you can't see what's happening. So being on a logging road with one of them is very, very dangerous on a motorcycle. As a good old friend of mine used to say, look at that wood pile, Bob. Look at it, wicked good, Bob. This is where your lumber comes from. You can see the drying kilns they have. Again, if you could smell of pine, I love the smell. Freshly cut pine. And as hard as we tried to avoid the rain, we have now hit it. The sky is rather light though, so maybe it's just a passing shower, hopefully. I don't know. I'm gonna pull over and check the radar in a second here. I'll tell you what, this last leg of the journey has put the adventure in adventure riding, or the bad weather and bad weather biking, because it poured buckets. According to the radar, we drove through a storm that was putting about 4 inches of rain down on the ground. We drove right through the center of it and kind of drove with it for a while. So all of our gear is soaking wet. I can't tell you how wet it is. And these roads are super rough. So driving through your fogged up windscreen, trying to watch the road and not die, it's quite fun. More of the same, just a lot of trees and curvy roads, but we're almost to the state park, and the gentleman said, like I said in my last little clip there, that he was holding the site for us, which is awesome. It's just gonna stink because everything is just dripping. Everything is just dripping water. I have no idea how I'm gonna dry my gear out tonight if it's raining right now. I'm gonna try to get a campfire going and maybe like barbecue my grill my gloves and shoes. I don't know. We'll see. Down that road right back there is a B-52 memorial. A B-52 actually went down right here, and the wreckage, you can find it. It's about 6 miles plus into the woods, but you can walk into it and you can actually see the pieces, which is kind of eerie if you ask me. On Google there's lots of pictures people have taken. There's like a wheel and parts of the fuselage, but yeah, I went down. I'm not sure they were doing some sort of training up here or whatever, but it went down. I have to look the story up. can't believe we finally made it. And it's just drizzling, which is amazing. Let's just hope they have a site open. At least it stopped raining. We bought firewood. Guy hooked us up with a site on the water. Darcy, you ready? Ah! Darcy, you ready? For the hospital. It is so stinking wet right now. But it stopped raining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's going to be so nice to get off these wet clothes, get the tent set up, get a fire ripping and rolling. I'm going to cut down some of these trees and add them to the fire. And the guy gave us a site on the water tonight because somebody didn't show up because it was raining. So it doesn't get any better than this. It really doesn't. And you know how much it costs to camp on a site? Waterfront, Moosehead Lake, it's $21.60. And you get to see people like this, you know? Look at this guy. No shirt, no shoes, no problem. I'm so freezing cold too, it's amazing. It's 67 degrees, but when you're soaking wet on a motorcycle, it is not a good feeling. And he said site 10L. Oh, it's beverage time. What's going on? Oh, I got a can of Allagash in the back I picked up at the store. That's gonna be delicious. It's not quite waterfront, but whatever. Good enough for me.
What are you talking about yourself again? All right, we're at the campsite. Soaking wet. My awesome new grit gear. It does okay, but how long do you think we rode in the rain? Like a couple, 3 hours? 150 miles. Driving rain. So I don't care what type of gear you're wearing, you're going to get wet.
I didn't get wet.
Unless you're sitting behind that. But we're going to set up campsite.
Modern, $10. Rain gear. Can't go wrong.
This is why I don't invite you to my videos anymore. All right. Just cracked open the brew. Get this all set up. It's hard to see, but the bike is here. It's become a clothesline of sorts. We've got a tent, another tent, Grandpa Deluxe.
Right.
I'm gonna change your name after this is over, you know, because you're doing good at this. We're being 106. We've got a campfire going, and we're drying out all of our gear. So it's late, and we're gonna get going to bed. In the morning, next adventure awaits. It's still quiet time, so I gotta be quiet. But I'll give you an update on our situation. It's pretty cold. It was like 50 degrees last night, and so when everything's soaking wet, it's makes for a long night. We're staying at this campground. The people on the site right there stayed up till midnight talking about teenage girl problems. Super annoying. And then at like 5 in the morning, these noises. Crows, blue jays, squirrels having the circus ole that they usually have. But anyways, everything is still soaking wet. So, just have to make do, get on the road, maybe air dry. Packing up, hitting the road. We're gonna go to Jackman first. This lady here, this damsel in distress, her trunk wouldn't open. But I was like, why are you trying to open your trunk? Check this out. Yes, sir, Bob. That's how you carry a kayak in Maine there. Yes, sir.
Only a woman.
It's not even a BMW. Oh, hey, how's it going, ladies?
These two gentlemen were wonderful, and they helped these two damsels in distress.
No, not two. One. Just one, honey. I have a truck.
But,
Oh, she's a EMT on Searsport.
Yes.
Yes, and her husband's a captain. And then this little guy came and visited us yesterday. He was looking for a little snackaroo, a little Scooby snack.
Get the bejesus out of us.
Yeah, we thought it was like a wild animal. Darcy had his hatchet out.
Look, a raccoon. Come up the
Oh, he's just wanting a little love and a little snack. Look at him, he's starving to death.
He's a mini pig.
He's starving to death. All right, you guys have a good day.
You too. Have fun on your trip.
The dog doesn't want to go. He wants to, you want to go for a ride? You want to go for a ride, puppy?
Ollie's jealous.
Oh, you're so small. You're just like a mini doggy. You should feed him. He looks like he's starving.
I know, right?
Soaking wet.
What is that?
Harley.
Huh?
It's a Harley.
It is.
Yeah, it's VIN number 2 for the New England area.
It's a what?
VIN number 2. It's a new bike they just made.
Oh, that's good.
We're making
That's not the Sportster then.
the Sportster S is using the same motor.
Oh, so that's
This is their Pan America Enduro.
wow.
It's awesome. We took it. I mean, we drove
So it's
4 hours through the rain yesterday.
four-stroke. It's got the fan, cooling fan.
Yeah, it's a 1250.
1250. That's what my Buell is.
150 horse.
That's freaking crazy.
It's awesome.
Nuts.
Yeah. So,
Brembo brakes and everything.
oh yeah. Yeah, she's good. I love my Pan America. I said I wasn't going to do video stuff about the bike, but everybody always asks, what is that? This is the site I wish we had. Look at that, right on the water. Beautiful. But I'm not going to complain because the Ranger got us in with no reservation in the middle of the rain. It was perfect. It stopped raining. We were able to go. I'm thinking the wind will dry me out a little bit, but my jacket's still wet. Gear's all wet. That's all right. Still a good life. Yes, sir, Bob. Maine, the way life should be. Hey, what's that yellow thing? Oh, thank you. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, I can't wait for it to warm me. Of course, I'll probably be upset later because it's going to be like 85 degrees and I'm still soaking wet, but maybe it will dry out, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. Currently, when I first started the bike before it was hot, it was 60 degrees. So, what a beautiful morning. So much better than yesterday. Nice lady we just interviewed there, talking to her for a little bit. Tried to help her out with the latch on her Volvo, but that thing was a beater. Thing was spent.
Hot supper.
Tried to get the latch to open and was stuck, and then I figured out why she wanted to. You see, the kayak was jammed right into the front seat. It was kind of nuts, huh? So we couldn't get it open, but they were still super nice. Corey Schmidt, they call him Smitty, unfortunately lost his life motorcycling about a year ago on the Penobscot Narrows Bridge. I think it was crosswinds or something. Nice. Hey, there he is. The nursing home let you out today. Nice. Let's go. We're going to be going back by the same way we came right after we get behind this massive camping trailer. Nova Scotia. Snowbird Bikers territory there, Bob. I will show you a picture of this house when we get up near it. It is absolutely incredible. Check out this house. Look at that thing.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I gotta look that house up and see how much it sold for, because that house is massive. You wonder why? Why would you build that house? And this is one of the old mansions right here too. That's really cool. Take a look at that. And that's the view they're looking at. That's awesome. Beautiful country. Just get back to our current situation. We're heading towards the town of Jackman, which is a really big snowmobiling destination. Very, very popular. Just gonna head over that way through the Carrabassett Valley and then head over to Aquasic, Mooselook, Maguntic, Rangeley, and Point South. We've got a long riding today, but the temperature's supposed to be up. The sun is out. Hopefully we get everything dried out. Just a beautiful day to be alive, driving, enjoying scenery, being stuck behind a motorhome from Nova Scotia. How did he even get across the border with that? Border's closed right now. This is downtown Greenville, the Mount Katahdin ship. That's pretty famous. They do little lake tours. Been there forever, the foot of Greenville. And this is Moosehead, gateway to Moosehead right here, Greenville. Nice little town out in the middle of nowhere. And they got an air base here. There's a lot of seaplanes that come in. So I wasn't able to really fly the drone because this whole area is all state park and seaplane, which is a no-go. But pretty nice area nonetheless. We haven't seen a moose yet, which it's cool to see a moose, but I'm not sure I want to see one on a motorcycle, you know. Could be a little scary. Oftentimes, every time I've seen them, they're on the side of the woods and they're heading across the road with a purpose, and you have to really look for them. There's Rockwood. That is beautiful. Moosehead Lake still. We're basically going around it because there is no bridge. Actually, what the locals say, the bridge is out, so you got to go around. Absolutely stunning. Guy operating that's name is Doug. Man, that road is rough.
Probably why they're gonna tie it.
Hey, Sherlock, you're right. Coming into Jackman, Maine. Jackman's the kind of a gathering point again for outdoor activities. Not much going on except logging and tourism. There's a big border patrol station we just passed a couple minutes ago because this is the last city before you get over to a big border crossing. 112 miles to Quebec City.
Looking good, Bob. Yes, sir.
Nice. Chaga Mountain. Hey, that's cool. Didn't know that's where it comes from. I love that tea. And we got a few places here to get some gas. If you don't stop, smile on the way by, Bob. Just got some gas. See you later, Jackman. You were fun. We're going to Eustis. Come on, Grandpa 5000. Sasquatch crossing the road, Bob.
Jackman Trading Post, the most fun you can have with your pants on. What in the wide world of sports?
I waited 10 minutes back there in the bathroom and I thought you was in there. Nobody was in there.
Yeah.
It made me look stupid without even being there.
Sorry about that. You know, we've been in Moosehead Lake, Moose Region, Moose this, Moose that, everything. We haven't actually seen a moose yet. I did see a baby deer, little teeny tiny thing. So I expected that we might see the mom or whatever, and who knows? We haven't seen anything yet, but I don't know. We'll keep looking. We hit lots of road construction on this trip in these few miles in between towns, which is super cool because these roads where they haven't been fixed are rough. And the Grandpa 5000 doesn't really handle them too well. So, hey, what do we got over there? We got some little dead deer. Oh, that's too bad. Well, somebody's getting a snack. Woo! It smells great. Harlan Farm Cabins there, Bob. Yes, sir, Bob. You hold the string and you mark it right there. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Bob.
Well, as they say in Rad Dad, rip it and grip it, Bob. This is the West Forks area. I believe Lake Moxie is over there. But yeah, it's called the Old Canada Road.
Beauty.
And that's where we're at right now. People love to raft this, fish it, just generally have a good time. Nice little spot. Wouldn't you like to have a little cabin right on the river like that? Nice. Lake Moxie's got some camps. They used to have a big one called Moxie Adventure Camps. I don't know if they're still around anymore. But if you ever get up to Maine, you got to try some Moxie. All right, so quick update. I saw a moose on the side of the river. I turned around and it's gone. I so wanted to catch it on camera. So, but I did get a picture of it. Here's what it looked like. Okay, just kidding. But yeah, I tried to catch it. By the time I got back, it was gone. Downtown Moscow, Maine. Now, Maine's got an interesting history when it comes to names of towns. It's kind of interesting. Maine has a lot of towns that are named after European cities and even countries. We've got Paris, West Paris, East Paris, China, Moscow, Peru, Berlin. Well, that's New Hampshire. But anyways, yeah, a lot of cities have those. Hey, look, cat on a hot tin roof. We can't make these things up. Look at that. Meow. Squirrel. Squirrel. Yeah, so Moscow is one of the towns we're going through. I think we're gonna hit a few more, but yeah, I'll let you know when we're there. All right, still heading to Eustis, Bob. What a beautiful road. What a beautiful day. Such a difference from yesterday too. Oh, I'm so happy. My clothes are finally drying out too. We've been following the Kennebec River for quite some time. Now we just got over it. We're gonna pull away from it a little bit. The old Herbert Grand Motel. Yes, sir. Grand Central Station. Just doing a little minor off-roading here. Status update. Just stopped for lunch. And we stopped at this little hole-in-the-wall place called the Kingsfield Woodsman Bob. I finally ordered a lobster roll and a side of BLT. It got warm today too, let me tell you. It is toasty. So everything's finally drying out. My gloves are still a smidge wet, but we got them in the sun. Trying to dry everything off just a little bit more. Okay, what do we got?
Very good, guys. Thank you.
What is that, a
The
burger?
cheeseburger.
What is that?
Oh, the lobster roll right there, baby.
Okay, and a side of BLT.
The BLT side.
Oh, this looks good. Look at that. Darcy, look at that lobster roll. What do you think?
No, if the lobster's good. You got it on a hot dog roll. That's just not good. No, it's
He's such a snob, you can't
can't make the guy happy.
So I settled for a burger.
What are you drinking over here?
It's called milk. Chocolate.
You're drinking chocolate milk with ice cubes. Let's try it. Perfection. Gone.
Lobster rolls gone.
Yeah.
Might as well take your teeth out if you're not going to use them.
No, I am going to use them next second round.
Oh, you got it. I'm still working on my burger. I had to go get a tomato. They forgot it.
Did you taste the potato chips?
Yeah, crunchy. Not bad. Neither was like this. They call it a pickle. Tastes like more.
Okay, what were you saying with your ramblings?
I said the hamburger was excellent. Would I come here again? No.
And then you said, I'm thinking of a 3-letter word, and I said, no, and you said that's 2 letters.
And you said, yes, that wasn't the right one, so what's left?
Why?
That's the one. Because they didn't use gloves handling any of the food. Plastic gloves.
Where?
Not where.
Hey, now I can finally take that Goldwing and launch it.
What the heck? I'm back.
I didn't have any problems. Everything is gone. There were no survivors.
Yeah.
I'm also growing a tail.
Huh?
Here's the guy saying, oh, I'd never eat here again, ever. Where are you going?
I gotta get a cookie. Maybe they won't touch it.
Liar!
Well, let's see if the cookie did good.
Did you just get a cookie?
I did. They can touch it.
I'm telling you, this guy, oh my word, this guy is so ridiculous. You know what, it's time to go. See if you can keep up, Grandpa 8000.
Ah, that was good. Now time to get useless and Eustis, as they say. We're gonna go through Eustis and then head to Rangeley. But first, a little off-roading action. Actually, I'll tell you a story. So, Grandpa 5000's Goldwing, he has 25,000 miles on it. The guy drives non-stop. So, I told him about the dirt road because there is a road that cuts over. It's 22 miles long. And you're not technically supposed to drive motorcycles on it either. But I asked him, I said, hey, you want to do it? You going to do it? And he said, no, didn't want to do it. I took him on a few little dirt roads the other day, and it is difficult. His bike weighs almost 1,000 pounds, so I might come back up again here maybe in a future episode and rip one down the long road just to try to see how it would do, because this bike loves this type of stuff. We've entered into the Carrabassett Valley. This is an area in the western side of Maine that is home to Sugarloaf ski area, Sugarloaf Mountain. I believe it's the only above tree line skiing anywhere up here. It's very, very high. They have a big thing on the top that's called the snowfields. You can ski. It's kind of cool. But I've never been skiing there. It's just so far to drive to go skiing. Where we live, there's tons of really good ski mountains that are close by, like Sunday River. But nonetheless, it's beautiful. And Carrabassett Valley, we can see the mountain right here. We're getting into it. Just a really, really nice place. There's one road that goes to the Sugarloaf Mountain with one bridge. So there's one way in and one way out. And a couple of years ago, there was some flooding and the bridge got washed out. It was quite an ordeal for the city. They're essentially shut off. I believe the National Guard came in and did some emergency repairs to build a new bridge, but the washout was quite severe. Spike handle's awesome, even loaded up with tons of garbage. I love you. There's Sugarloaf. You can see the trails. It's kind of hazy right now because of wildfires in Canada, but you can see it. Stop for traffic. What are you doing?
Oatmeal cookie with raisin.
stool salt. No.
No, you're good. I'm good. Whew. There's Sugarloaf, just in case you've never seen it before. That's what it looks like. The rock. All right, we're coming into Eustis. One horse town, as Darcy likes to call it. Big snowmobile junction too. So where we were earlier, even in Greenville, the trails run all the way across here. And actually, you can get here a lot quicker on a ATV or a sled because it's a straight shot over. We did this huge loop down. And the Appalachian Mountain Trail crosses right back there. So you get a lot of folks coming up into here. Copland, it's Copland. Copland Eustis Plantation, that's what it's called. I knew I would remember that. Downtown. We're almost into Rangeley, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's kind of a cool old town in western Maine. Really what it started with logging, obviously. Again, this kind of sounds like a broken record with the story of Maine, but Rangeley lakes were big because they could float logs into these lakes and process them at lumber mills built next to the streams and the rivers. But Rangeley became really popular for fishing and hunting. And essentially what would happen is tourists from, you guessed it, Massachusetts and southern states would come up to get in on this unbelievable fishing in Rangeley and hunting and such. Mainly fishing, as far as I understand correctly. So they would bus them up here. Well, actually, I got to stop. They wouldn't bus them up here. They would bring them up on the train. The train was a big one. Let me pause real quick. So that's Saddleback ski area. You can kind of see in the haze. Saddleback is owned publicly by the folks in this area. And they actually went bankrupt and people pitched in and bought it. They put a new lift line and lodge in this year. So I'm hoping to go check them out this winter. Pretty interesting story with Saddleback ski area. But anyways, I digress. Rangeley became hugely popular with fishing, and the train would bring people up by the cartful to fish. You would hire a local guide. The guide would take you out here and show you where to fish and how to fish and everything else. And it became a real popular fishing destination. Unfortunately, it got overfished and a lot of the natural resources got depleted. And thus came the birth of the Maine Warden Service and Inland Fisheries and Wildlife. And really they started policing how much fish would be taken to try to rebuild some of these stocks. And thankfully the conservation efforts have worked, because I enjoy coming up here with my son to go fishing and camping, especially at the state park where we're going to go in just a moment. The natural fish has come back into its own and things are looking a lot better now. Also, Rangeley unfortunately is economically depressed, except for people that have summer homes up here that have a lot of money. And essentially that story has been repeated in a lot of these destination towns where there's a big lake. The locals can't afford to live anymore because there's no work, or the taxes get too high, but typically the work is the big issue. And then the out-of-state people come and suck up the lakefront homes. If you've ever seen What About Bob, it's exactly the same story. So unfortunately that's happened here in Rangeley, and Rangeley is home of some really nice estates, but most of the there are still small cabins and camps around, but most of the real small ones have been demolished to build these McMansions. So, but the state park is really nice. It's still wicked pristine, and I just love camping. I'm hoping Chris is working. He's the park ranger. I've known him for a long time, and he's a fellow ADV rider. He loves to ride. He's got an Africa Twin. So let's check him out. Let's see if he's home. So this is Main Street in Rangeley. You can see that way. we're going to continue this way towards the other side of Rangeley. There is a seaplane base on this as well, just like on Moosehead that we saw earlier. You could take tours if you want, they'll take off, but they also do deliveries because you really can't beat the speed. See, there's the planes right there. And you can, I believe you can fly from here to Moosehead as well. They'll go interlake. There's not much going on in Rangeley. The Rangeley Inn is really popular. There's a couple shops downtown. There's an old theater. There's a cool, the guy broke off the top. There used to be a carving there where the guy had a holding on for dear life as the bear's climbing up. I'm gonna stop and get some fuel. I'll be right back with you. This whole time I didn't even know Grandpa 5000 was carrying a sidearm. What is that, like a buck skinning knife? I like it. There's a place over there, Rock Rolling Bowl. It used to be called Moose something or other. They got sold out, but they have campfires in the middle of the bar area, so you can sit at a campfire, drink beer, and then there's a bowling alley in the back. It's kind of a neat thing to do. I've been there a few times with the family. We like to go camping up here at the state park, but when it's raining, you got to find things to do, so that's one of the things you can do. You ready? How much does that take? 20 gallons? Okay, so a little bit about this area. Aquasic is the town we're coming into right now, but it borders Rangeley Lake and Rangeley Plantation. So Aquasic's kind of like the little village. We have the state park over here, which we're going to go to. But this is the lake we just looked at. Of course, on film it's hard, but about 20 minutes ago we've kind of driven around it. And just a really cool little village area right here. Gingerbread house, restaurant, really tasty. The Portage Tap House is kind of cool. This is a new one right here. And the Farmer's Daughter here, I don't know what they call it anymore. Yeah, Farmer's Daughter is owned by a friend of mine who's a firefighter as well. So that's kind of cool. All right, so we're just gonna go up the road a piece here and we'll be at the state park. He's right here. You're not Chris.
What?
I was looking for Chris.
Are you Pete?
I am. I also know that guy too, but I forgot his name.
Well, I believe you.
Oh my God!
Yeah, man.
You know who these people are?
I do. Some of the finest barbecue.
Oh, you guys firefighters?
Yeah.
He sets fires, yeah.
Let's see if he comes out. I see the Africa twin. I don't know if he's gonna come out. Maybe he's sleeping. You wash your... That's too bad. I would have liked to see Chris. But regardless, we're gonna stop and have a drink of water real quick and then hit the road for the rest of the trip. Chris?
Oh, I need to talk to you bad.
Pete, we got a slide for you. You want to stay?
Oh man, I got my stuff. Darcy, you want to stay? No, that's no. I got to get him back to the home.
Put more miles on.
I know. You gonna? Yeah. You want to come back to Height of Land? Can you come with us?
We got work to do.
Ah, come on, guys. All right, I'll see you guys.
Yeah. Take care.
That was cool. Chris told me come back in September after the tourists go away and we'll do some camping and do some riding. A quick stop at a place called Height of the Land. And then it's off to the Grafton Notch State Park. This spot over here is amazing. You're gonna love this view. It's called Height of the Land. Actually, it's called Height of Land. Actually, it's called Super destroyed road with gravel on top. There it is. Check this place out. Grandpa 5000.
Hey Pete, where's your key?
I know, I'm looking everywhere for him so I can unlock and grab my camera gear, and look at this. I left him sitting in my pannier. Hello. How are they still there?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how smart are you, Pete?
Poo-poo. Okay, we're off to the last stop of our Four Corners. That's the Grafton Notch State Park. See, it's still hazy from all of the Canadian smoke. You know what the Canadians say about that? Sorry.
Hey, over here.
Moose the whole trip, and there's one right in the water over there. Hey, that was cool. I spotted him out of the corner of my eye, and there he was. Got a good picture of him. He got a little bit spooked when he saw the drone. I don't think wildlife knows what to do with it. Hey, what's going on? But he was fine. He just kind of moseyed over to the shore area. Awesome. I was really hoping we were going to see a moose at some point. I didn't want to let you guys down. To our left is the Swift River, which is known for gold, believe it or not. People come up here and pan for gold all the time. I've actually done it a few times with my son. We found a few little small flecks, nothing much. But this is a very popular activity to come up here to do. And again, it's right on 17 past Height of the Land, and the motorcycle ride is epic. There's actually a couple dips up here that are really good. Get some air on if you're not careful. Town of Byram and Coos Canyon, popular place to go swimming. We're coming into Mexico, Maine. Again, another one of those odd names for a town. And we're going to be, Mexico borders Rumford, so we're going to be going through Rumford as well. And they're a big logging community. They got a big, huge paper mill, again, supported by the woods around. There's the mill. And here's downtown. You're not missing much. The Covered Wagon restaurant used to be right there. That was a real famous one. Here's your bub. Look at that truck. Instigator.
Give us some.
And these are the old houses where all the factory workers would live. They used to provide them housing. And right down here at the end of this, there's a kind of a neat, famous landmark, Babe in the Blue Ox. If you've never heard of them, Paul Bunyan. And he had that ox, Babe, that was blue. And there's the Paul Bunyan and Babe in the Blue Ox. Rumford, Maine, bub. It's the thing nightmares are made out of. The last leg, Grafton Notch. We're like 10 minutes away from it. It's surreal. Newry, Maine. Sunday River is on those mountains over there. You can't quite see it from here. That's the big ski mountain, Newry. They associate it with Bethel, Maine, because I think some of the mountains are, but Newry is the actual town that they start out in. And this is home to Grafton Notch State Park, so in 9.3 miles we'll be there.
Yeah, baby, we did it. We made it. Grafton Notch State Park. All right. Listen, the whole trip, Darce, I've been picking on you, calling you Grandpa Deluxe, Grandpa 5000. We got you out of the nursing home, but I want to take it back. I'd like to promote you to Power Man 5000. What do you say? Truce?
That's the way it was before we began. You just.
Oh, you can't have peace, can you? You just can't do it.
Hey, I'm looking forward to the nursing home where I get my electric wheelchair going.
Yes, yeah.
Besides, for 1,255 miles, I've been looking at Harley's rear end. I'm sick of that view.
All right, I'll let you lead on the way home. Look at that. Yeah, how can you get sick of that thing? Come to Daddy.
Give him the list.
Give him the list. Look at the back of this thing. Looks like I'm driving behind like a station wagon.
The first time you've seen it from behind.
Oh yeah, I've seen it enough.
You can't get it.
You can't have it. You can't handle it. All right, you ready? We got to end up back at Mousum to complete the whole loop here.
Mousum?
Yeah, Mousum, the corner of Mousum. Complete the whole loop. You didn't get the memo?
I didn't get the memo.
Oh, let's go.
We've done the 4 corners, so now we've got about 2.5 hours back to where we started, the foot of Mousum Lake in York County, right outside of Acton, Chapley, Sanford. So it's actually Emery Mills, as I think was what they call it. So Darcy said, you know, we got to go back to where we started, so we did the loop. And I told him he could lead because he started complaining about not leading, as you saw in the video. So now we'll follow him. But you know what? It's all right, because I do have a lot of respect for him. He is a good guy. I've known him for about 11, 12 years, and he is a very giving, generous person. Anybody needs a hand, Darcy's right there to help out. And he's, you know, he's considerably older than me. Yeah, we've been joking around about the nursing home and everything, but you know, he's been on my tail the entire time, and no complaints, ready to rock, loves the ride, doesn't want to stop. So I do tip my hat in your general direction, and I promise no more grandpa jokes till the end of the trip. Here's where he lives. They say he say Bigfoot lives there. That's what he says. Wow. More useless Maine trivia. This is Lovell, Maine. Now, Lovell is home to a very famous author, and I definitely don't like him, and I don't like his books, but many people do. The author is Stephen King. You may have heard of this guy. Now, what Mr. King did to this town is actually rather sad. See, he bought a McMansion, or cabin, or that was close. Yikes. So what he did was he bought a cabin on Portage Lake, which is right through the trees over here. And the cabin was nice, but he doesn't like motorboats. So he started buying more cabins and continued to buy as many cabins as he could on this lake. So he bought almost, I don't want to say he bought the whole lake, but he bought a good majority of the people's houses on this lake. Then he bought the campground, the Portage Lake campground, which we actually really enjoyed going to as a family. And he said he was going to turn it into some sort of boys camp or something like that, but it basically just got shut down and shuttered. So that took care of all the campers that were bringing their boats in, because that was a lot of people. And then he bought the local marina and shut their boat ramp down, and tried to buy / shut down the town, or the state of Maine's boat ramp that they have on the lake as well. He was not successful with that. But anyways, it really impacted this area very negatively, because all the tourism that came to town for the campground and all the people coming up for their beach, their lake houses, no longer exist. So I talked with the store owner one time about it, and he didn't even want to talk about it because he was so worried about what his future is, and just really sad. One time I was in the Lovell Market there, and I was getting a sandwich, and Mr. King came in. He cut the line completely, and I said, "Excuse me," and he didn't even turn around or look at me or anything. The storekeeper just kind of like went into a trance and served him, completely ignored me. So I'm not a fan, and I'm definitely sad about the town of Lovell. It's been many years it's been like this now, but it just was a reminiscing of the old memories and what we used to do. There's still a golf course here, right here, that's really popular, Keyser Lake Golf Club, and they have a little pub as well that's pretty decent. So we're driving through Fryeburg, Maine. Fryeburg, Maine is home to the Fryeburg Fair. We're going to see it on the right side here. It's the largest, and I also believe it is the most longest running fair in the state of Maine. So every October, usually the first week in October, this place is packed, and it's pretty awesome. They do all types of stuff like tractor pulls, livestock show off, you know, all the fair stuff. And let's not forget the awesome food you can eat. They just have all types of stuff. They have a maple syrup house. They have a couple museums. Loretta's Kitchen is pretty cool. There's an old lady named Loretta. She's been doing it since I was a kid, serving her apple crisp. So kind of a neat little thing. Now, interesting thing, this place is jamming when Fryeburg Fair is on. And if you see these people, their houses right here, they actually rent the lawns out for people to park their cars. And there was a gentleman on the news, I think it was this guy, that said just renting his yard out during the week of the fair paid for his mortgage the entire year, which is crazy to think about it. So yeah, Fryeburg Fair, it's a pretty good deal. Again, one of those bucket list items. If you ever come to Maine in the month of October, plan accordingly and you can really enjoy something nice. Welcome to Limerick. Limerick laddie. I lost my lucky charms. Limerick. Done before the sunset, and we just did it. It's 7:04 and we're pulling in to the foot of Mowsam Lake in Shapley, Maine.
1,207
miles from this spot.
The Four Corners
3 days ago. The Four Corners of Maine and round trip all the way back.
which was Kittery,
Lubec, Madawaska.
That's not a...
Yeah, the Four Corners is in Madawaska, that park.
What's Fort Kent?
Ding dong. That was just going to the top.
What the?
Just to run Route 1 out all the way. That's why it was the Fringes of Maine, and we also did the Four Corners. Get it together. I'll send you the book.
And
Hawthorne.
the Notch, right? Crawfish Notch?
Crawfish? No, Crawford.
That's what I said, just slang.
You want a hot ball?
Yeah! Have to this small.
No. So check it out. The sun is almost ready to set.
It's 7:07.
7:07. What time do we start this morning? Pulled out at 8?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Another 11-hour day.
yeah, baby. How'd the wing treat you?
Oh yeah, like a dream. Couch potato.
Nice.
How did Harley treat you?
Oh, Harley treated me like the nightmare that it is. It was amazing. That was awesome. No problems at all. Rides like a dream.
Excuse me? The dream is over here.
No, that's the dream, I guess. They're both good. Powerman 5000.
Hey, we both got back without adding oil or losing bolts.
Right.
You.
So it is
a plus.
a good deal. So, did you learn anything from this trip? Like next time we do an epic trip, give me something that you would do differently.
If I do anything any different, I would just bring more people. Suffer the pain.
Nice. I like it.
We did about 150 miles in the rain yesterday, which was on a Thursday, but we got through it.
Nice.
I got through it.
We both got through it.
You look like a drowned rat. Big
I
one
look like
in
a
there.
drowned rat. So that's all that matters.
We're here safe so far.
That's right. Safe and sorry. I just want to go over, before we conclude this video, the gear layout. As you can see, I've got hard boxes on mine. Everything in those boxes stayed dry. The bags were okay on top. My clothes are in this dry sack and they were fine. My bedding got wet, the tent got wet. They're not really, they're not really waterproof. But you didn't have any gear problems, and you have the economy challenge going on here. You've got the homeless situation. I mean, bungee corded down, trash bagged up.
Baby, that's
Let me see your riding jacket. This thing is amazing.
American
I haven't
wear.
said anything about that. Look at that. Pockets.
A fireball?
Would you stop trying to give me those stinking things? So, nice.
That racket. Oh, they're all going to get them worked on.
Yeah, I know.
Not like Harley.
You're never going to live it down. Although the only Honda fan today we saw said he had what? Oh, the Africa Twin? What was that?
Amnesia moment.
Yeah, he had a transmission issue and he can't even shift. So, well, all in all, it was an awesome trip. Thanks for tuning in with us. And until next time, ride safe.